coming out here. And I really appreciate the ability to do this, and I don't want you guys to underestimate, as Coach Arnold was saying, the advantage that you have. And where I want to start, and the reason for the sheet in front of you is to kind of give you a visual, and as best as I possibly can. And coaches, if I'm being 100% honest, this is more geared towards you guys than it is to you guys. But as you'll see on the sheet that I gave you there, there are different philosophies or different things that people will coach on how to hit the baseball. As I've notated on there are some things that are core that no matter what the coach that you're working with, what they're hoping to accomplish, there are some things that have to happen. It doesn't matter if I'm telling you or your coaches here are telling you. And raise your hand, are you aware of hitters? Yes? No? Maybe so? Hitters? Prospect? Sticks? Raise your hand if any of these are sounding familiar. Okay? All those guys have things that they're teaching as well. You know, and I think it's especially important for you guys at the age that you're at to understand there's not a matter of right and wrong, in my opinion. There's just a matter of different. And I've been doing this 16 years now, about 8 or so with this program. And one thing that I have known is a greater percentage of the players that I coach, I understand what they can do and be successful, both as an individual and then ultimately help us be successful as a team. And what I have found to be the most successful thing is with an approach that goes into the batter's box to accomplish what it is. And before I tell you what it is that we want to accomplish, actually, now that I think about that, I want to ask you guys a question, just to kind of see where your mindsets are at right now. So I'm going to stop right there and just, I guess my overall point there is, there's a bunch of different ways that you're going to be taught how to hit a baseball, okay? But the core things are the core things, and we'll get into that before the end of the day. I'll tell you what those core things are. But here's my question to you. You're in the batter's box, getting ready to hit. You hit the ball and you absolutely just smash it. Absolutely smash it. Felt wonderful. It's flying in the air, super high in the air. Looks like it might get over the outfielder's head. Almost looks like it might get over the fence. How many people, by a raise of hands, that is what you were thinking about when you were in the batter's box? I want to, when I get in there, hit that ball super high up in the air and smack that thing over the outfielder's head, maybe even over the fence. Raise your hand if you have that mindset. Okay? Okay? How many guys smacked that ball super hard, got over the pitcher's head, going straight up the middle, going towards the center fielder, find some outfield grass before anybody can catch it? How many people, by a raise of hands, that's your mindset? Okay? Now, I'm not, that first group, that's fine. And there's no problem with that mindset of wanting to get that lift, but you guys that raised your hand, talking about sticks, talking about prospect, talking about hitters, a lot of these club select organizations are teaching guys with a launch angle. They want them to elevate that ball. They want that ball to get up in the air, which is fine, and there's no problem with that. But here is the issue that you have as an individual. Are you big enough? Are you strong enough? And do you have enough exit speed off of your bat? Okay? And one is a byproduct of the other. If you've got the strength and the torque in your rotation to make sure that the exit speed off the bat is such that you can get it over the outfielder's head, that's great. But what I have found, and especially over the last 4 or 5 years with the kids that have come from these clubs and come into the program, very few of them actually have the physical strength to do what they're being coached to do. What they end up being is they end up being an out force, because their intention is to hit the ball over the center fielder's head. Meanwhile, the center fielder's doing this every time they hit the ball. Boom, easy out.
What do we measure hitters? What do we measure hitters in? What do we use to measure a hitter if they're having a good year or a bad year? Batting average. Okay. Who led your team in home runs last year?
We had 2. One guy had 1 and one guy had 1, so I guess they were tied.
Okay. How many at-bats did they have?
Will had 74 and the other kid had 81.
What's that percentage of lifting the ball in the air? 1 out of 70 some at-bats is going over the fence, right? Huh? And if none of you know Will Anakin, he's probably going to play Division I football. He's a big old strong boy. So that's why we're gonna start hitting line drives. If any of you grow into the type of hitter that's gonna hit 20 home runs, we'll make a little adjustment for you, okay?
And to Coach's point, you know what Will said to me as he slapped my hand coming around third base after he hit his home run? Sorry, Coach. Anybody know why he apologized? No? It's a good thought. I like that. He apologized because he wanted to make sure he knew, that I knew that wasn't his intention. His intention wasn't to go up there, I'm going to hit a home run. Anybody have a guess as to what his intention was? That's the reason he hit a home run. If his mindset wasn't this, he would have never hit that home run anyway. Anybody have a guess as to what his mindset was? Hit it back up the middle. And it just so happened that he got around on it well enough where he was able to hit it out of the park.
Home runs are mistakes.
They are mistakes, okay? And, you know, guys that get paid millions of dollars that purposely hit home runs, that's why they get paid millions of dollars, okay? So my overall point here is this, and like I shared with all the other groups, and for you guys especially, I think this will hit home. All conference, do you guys know what all conference is once you get to high school? Especially for you guys, what's all conference? What does that mean if you're all conference? I'm all conference football, I'm all conference basketball, I'm all conference baseball. What does that mean to be all conference? You guys know? Just tell me no, I don't know if you don't know. All conference means that you were picked to be amongst one of the best players in the league. So you got the league, all these teams play each other, and then the coaches vote on who are the best players. We had one kid last year that was first team all conference, okay? Picked to be amongst the best 12. He had 37 hits for us. He had 2 doubles, no triples, no home runs. So the rest of them were base hits. And he was picked to be amongst one of the best players in our conference. He led our team in RBIs. Anybody getting where I'm going with this? What's the point? Do you have to hit doubles, triples, and home runs to be productive in the batter's box? No, you can lead your team in RBIs and be one of the most clutch players, just hitting that ball back up the middle, hitting that ball back up the middle, which makes me transition into this. And again, I don't want to undersell, you know, the clubs and all that, and I say this to you guys because I'm sure you guys have friends that maybe have thought about or are in the clubs. There's nothing wrong with that, and they're probably good kids, good guys, and good baseball players. But what they're being taught and what our philosophy is going to be a little bit different. And, you know, if we've got guys that have launch angle and it's working for them, I'm not going to tell them not to do it because there's nothing wrong with it. But what's important that you guys understand is understand what's best for you. Is this launch angle thing best for me, or is there something else that's better for me? And in my opinion, for all baseball players, there's absolutely no harm in trying to hit that ball right up the middle every single time. So now that we go into these pictures and we take a look, and what that starts with is a hitter's triangle. We're going to get into some drill work here in a second to really reinforce that hitter's triangle. And if you look at the top left, that top left picture, the hitter's triangle simply is this. So this is the real live look at it. You've got a picture of it with a real live major leaguer doing the exact same thing that I'm doing here right now. Okay? And one of the things that's been asked all day is this whole idea of elbow up, elbow down. Okay? Elbow up, elbow's got to come down at some point in time. You know, and you see a big leaguer right there where he understands that and he just has the elbow down, okay? And if you want to know why he probably has his elbow down, is because he's short and compact. When he loads, he just picks his front foot up, puts it down, and he doesn't need to counterbalance himself. You know, as I explained to some of the other groups, and this is probably more for the adults, you know, you want to have a rationale behind the elbow up. The reason the elbow is up, for a simple load, we're just going to go straight back with the hands, come down with the front foot, we get to 50-50 and we're in a good power position, okay? If you watch some big leaguers, give me a raise of hands. Have you ever seen a big leaguer with a big leg kick? Yeah? How about a big leaguer where he takes his front knee and goes to his back knee? They call this a knee-to-knee load. Nothing wrong with either one of those loads. Not something that I teach, it's something that I support but don't teach. The difference is, I'm not going to teach you to go to knee, but if you have been going knee to knee and you're successful with it, great, we'll just keep on rolling with it. What I teach is pick it up, put it down. This whole elbow up thing, if you've got what I would deem as like a violent load, where you're really picking this leg up, watch what happens to me when I pick my leg up and I try to load. What happened? Okay, I'm going to fix that. I still want to have that aggressive, violent load. Okay, why is my elbow up? So I don't what? Fall down. But what has to happen when I swing? Let's do it. What has to happen to the elbow? Okay. The reality is, you guys are going to see a guy that's going to be throwing, and you're like, oh my gosh, he's really throwing hard. Okay? Do you want to have a lot of stuff going on in your swing if the guy's throwing hard, or do you want to have a swing where you can get from here to here and get that ball out in the play? Which one sounds better? being more efficient, snap, snap, or something where you got a lot of stuff going on that you've got to adjust. That doesn't sound too good, does it? Right? Does that make sense? So, hitter's triangle, as you see in that top left picture. Just keep it simple, guys. Less is more. The less you've got to do before you hit the ball, the better. Now, the other thing that we're going to talk about is the slot position. And the slot position is basically the barrel of the bat. As you go through the progression of those pictures, you go to the one now to the right, and then you go to the middle one. What you should be seeing there is the barrel of the bat maintains a position where it's slightly above the hands. I want to see eyes down, and I want you guys looking at those pictures. Look at the one on the top right, and then look at the two middle ones. And notice how the barrel of the bat is slightly above all of their hands. Okay? That's what we call the slot. We're going to get on the tees here in a little bit. Okay? We're going to get in the cage here in a little bit. Can somebody tell me where what I call the slot would be? So this is where you see in the pictures. If you hit the ball up in the roof of the cage, or if you hit the tee, someone tell me where the barrel is. I'm telling you right now, the barrel is not where I have it right now. Where's the barrel? It's below your hands, and that's why you hit the tee. That's why it went up into the roof. Okay? Does this sound like a line drive to you? No. No. This sounds like a right fielder camped out underneath your ball and catching it for an easy out. Okay? Keep that slot position. So we talk about adjusting your slot. So, like if you're in the cage and you hit the tee, if I shout out at you, adjust your slot, what am I communicating to you? What am I telling you? Yeah, so next time you swing, make sure you maintain that relationship where you get that barrel above your hands. Now you guys got to be careful with this, okay? This slot is no good. It's what we would call too steep, okay? So you don't want to get crazy with this. There's a little bit of a window right here, and the pitch will dictate a little bit where your slot is, okay? If the pitch is a little bit lower, the slot's probably going to be a little steeper. If the pitch is right at your hands, you're probably going to have a little bit flatter slot, okay? So that's what those pictures are really reinforcing. And then the last thing I want to kind of point out with that, and we'll get into some drill work where we'll kind of reinforce this, and I'll add some more things in for you coaches. But once we get into our position, we have two real main parts of the swing that we really want to reinforce. One part is the to the ball, and the next part is the through the ball. And if you go to the bottom right-hand side, you can see that hitter getting through the ball. How can you tell, Coach? I don't even see a ball in there because I can tell on his finish. When we are going to the ball, okay, we got our hitter's triangle that's pointed at the catcher. Then we're going to have our hitter's triangle pointing at the ball. We're going to stay inside the ball. We hit the ball. This is going to the ball now and now through the ball, okay? And when I'm through the ball, we call this our power beat. This is where we want to finish, okay? And then we just simply finish it over the top shoulder, all right? So that's another point of emphasis where we really want to get to the ball and get to that power V because that's ensuring we're getting through the ball, all right? So hitting philosophy-wise, in a nutshell, we want to hit line drives, line drives, line drives, line drives. And just so I'm not being misheard or misinterpreted here, there's things going on as far as different philosophies, different ways that you should be hitting the ball, you should be trying to get underneath the ball. There's nothing wrong with that if you're capable of doing that. But unless you can prove otherwise, the safe bet, coach, is hit it up the middle, hit it up the middle, hit it up the middle. Like I've been doing it with all the rest of the groups, and you guys being my oldest group should be smart enough to figure this out real quick. You're in a game. You're on defense. Other team's up the bat. Base hit. Another base hit. Base hit. Base hit. Another base hit. Another base hit. All of a sudden I got my shortstop. Why is he looking so glum? Why is he looking so negative? Why is he dropping his head a little bit and kind of moping around a little bit? Go ahead. Maybe they're all clean. Didn't even have a chance to make an error. You're right. That could be a circumstance. 7 base hits in a row. Why is the defense, you're going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Why? They keep scoring. They keep hitting the ball. You guys want to be that team. You guys want to be that team. Just keep on base hitting them to death, and you'd be amazed on how that's going to have an effect on the other team. Okay? So, that being said, keep these sheets, or actually, as quickly as incorporate into this drill is there. Everybody rest that bat on your shoulder, get in a nice relaxed position. All right? Fingers. See how this goes. Fingers. Good. I got some guys that know what that means. Okay, rest the bat on your shoulder, please. Bat on your shoulder. Fingers. Okay, those index fingers should be pointing straight up in the sky. I saw a bunch of people doing it. Now I'm curious to know, why are you doing it? Anybody have an answer for me? Why is it so important that your index fingers point straight up in the sky and not go in different directions? Good. So they're even, but that's not why you're doing it. Good answer. I like that. Okay, so your bat is stronger. Good. There's a body part that is making your bat stronger. Anybody know what it is? It's your wrists. You guys need to experience this right now. Get your bat, rest on your shoulder, fingers. Both index fingers straight up in the sky. Now take your fingers and the best that you can, twist it so they're going in completely and totally opposite directions. Okay, you talked about bat strength. You tell me right now, you guys just very, very carefully, because there's a lot of people around here, just kind of go and snap into your zone and tell me how strong those fingers, or how strong that feels. Does it feel very strong? No. This is why. Your wrists are all locked up. There's the answer to my question. Rest the bat on your shoulder again. Fingers. Let's go back to the top. Why do you want your knuckles aligned? Why do you want your index fingers pointing in the sky? That means your knuckles are aligned. If your knuckles are aligned and your index fingers are going in the sky, what body part have you unlocked? Your wrist. That's where, when you talk about your power, that's what you're talking about. If you don't have your wrists on that snap, you don't feel very powerful. You've got to unlock those wrists. So that's why we want to have those knuckles aligned. That's why we want those fingers in the sky. Okay? All right. Bat on the shoulder.
Mike, it's important too, guys, and I've seen it on a couple of you already. You go ahead and you check yourself, and then as soon as you're pulling your fingers down, your hands go like this and twist back to where they started,
Yep.
right? The whole point to this is to make sure that when you finish, those are lined up. If we go here and we're in a good spot and we put them down and go back to here, ineffective.
You know, and to just piggyback off of that, gentlemen, you've been living in a little bit of a false sense of security. And what I mean by that is, you haven't quite gotten to the point where you consistently have pitchers that do what they want with the ball when they want to do it. And I've been doing this for 17 years, and I've seen it time and time again. I'll have guys, especially you 8th graders, that come in, and you're used to a greater percentage of your pitchers throwing the ball relatively over the middle of the plate. And when you have locked wrists, you're okay, because locked wrists only allow you to hit one pitch and one pitch. Only. That's that pitch coming down the middle of the plate. Once you start getting into, especially JV, sophomore yearish, some of you guys, if you're good enough and you find yourself on the JV your freshman year, you're going to be like, holy man, that guy never, and you're coming back complaining. But he's not giving me my pitch. What's your pitch? Well, I want the one down the middle. Well, guess what? In high school, that ain't going to happen. You ain't going to get pitches down the middle. You're going to get pitches on the outer half, inner half. Those guys have a better ability to put the ball where they want it. And where they want it is not where you want it. Does that make any sense whatsoever? Where they want it is not where you want it. So you got to figure out how to cover the plate. Unlocking your wrist will help you cover the plate. Because if your wrists are loose, you can get that outside pitch, inside pitch, a little bit higher pitch, so on and so forth. Okay? The other thing too, as Coach mentions that, when you're playing any sport, I don't care if it's basketball, soccer, baseball, or anything else like that, when do your muscles contract? Let's talk about soccer. I got any soccer players in here? Okay, I got a few. Good. When you go to kick a soccer ball, do you flex up your legs as tight as you possibly can and run after the ball and try to kick it? What do you do to have a really good kick that has a lot of velocity? What do you need to do? Go ahead. Loose or tight? Loose. You need to be loose. When does your muscle contract? That's exactly right. When you hit the ball, when you kick the ball. No different than when you're throwing a ball, hitting a ball. Right now, you should be loose as a goose. See how smart you guys are? And let's see who's paying attention to me. Anybody have a guess as to when your muscles are going to contract when you're hitting? When will your muscles flex? When I say contract, I mean flex. When will your muscles flex when you're hitting? When you make contact with the ball, attaboy. Okay? So right now, bat on shoulder, fingers, loose as a goose. Loose as a goose. All right, take that bat off your shoulder and show coach around, coaches kind of walk around. Make sure they got that good hitter's triangle. Make sure they got that good hitter's triangle. And here's my challenge to you right now. And the drill that you guys are about to do right now is called the knob drill. All we want to do with this drill is we want to take that hitter's triangle and rotate it from where it is right now, which is pointed at the catcher, and we want to get that triangle pointed towards the pitcher, and the knob of the bat or your hands will be just inside the baseball. Okay? You guys that are by tees, please do not hit the ball right now. That's not what we're doing. So, here's my challenge to you. Can I borrow your bat? This is what it's going to look like. Fingers, hitter's triangle, pointed at the catcher, rotate, hitter's triangle now, knob is inside the ball, hitter's triangle is at the pitcher. Catcher, pitcher, catcher, pitcher. Now, how about my slap position? Pretty good? Did I move the bat at all? The answer is no. Gentlemen, what you want to do is challenge yourself right now is have your back rotation move that triangle. Don't move that triangle with your upper half. Don't worry about your hands moving. Don't worry about your head moving. Just, right now, this shaft of this bat is right here on this shoulder. It's not going to move. That shaft is still on my shoulder because I'm not worried about anything in my upper half. I'm just rotating through and making sure I'm getting that hitter's triangle, go from the catcher to the pitcher. You guys work on it right now. Just do reps on your own as coaches will come around and take a look. See how you're losing your barrel? Go ahead and do it again. There we go. Don't worry about lunging in there. Just keep it right there. You're not worried about the back. Let the back side rotate that hitter's triangle. Fixate it on the back. Going to take a pole right through the top of his head. It's going to go straight down through his body. Okay? That pole is going to give us a center point. Go ahead and get your stance. We don't ever want to get, go ahead and rotate. Good. We don't ever want to get front of that pole. We call this front of center. We want to stay back of center, stay back of center, stay back of center. When you guys are swinging, right now, you're 50-50, load. Now you're about 60-40. Bring it through, rotate. Now you're back to 50-50. If you get in front of 50-50, that means that you're front of center, which means you've got too much weight on your front foot. Okay? So coaches, a quick fix, if you see this, Coach and I are seeing some guys drifting. Can you pretend like you're drifting, which I mean, get in front of center, get your chest going that way. Just simply put your hand here as a marker for him or as a kind of a feel or visual and just say stay back of center. Now, he's going to do his next rep. I'm going to have my hand here. He probably isn't going to do it because he knows my hand's here, so he knows he wants to stay back of center. Do a perfect one now. You're still coming from the center a little bit. Stay back a little bit. There you go, just like that. Okay? All right, so coaches, as they're doing these last few reps here, please watch for that. Make sure they stay back of center. Envision that pole and stay back of center as you rotate that triangle. Okay, so just rotate that triangle, stay back of center. Good. Good. Rotate, stay back of center. Get set up. All right. Now, you would think, ball on tee, hit ball. No, we're not hitting the ball right now.
LeVoy, don't hit it. Keep that ball there.
The idea of the ball is for coaches and or players to give different locations. And now that we've got this muscle memory going with the rotation, what we want to do on rotation is we want to have, go ahead and rotate it. We want to have this knob or our hands inside the ball. So we're going to start dead red with this drill. Go ahead and just get into your setup. Okay, get your hitter's triangle. Rotate and get those hands inside the ball right there. Perfect. Good. Now check this out. Envision this as like a pointer finger. I'm pointing. Where are you pointing? You're pointing right here. Well, the inside of the ball is there, not here. Point the knob just inside the ball. Do it again. Attaboy. Do it again. Attaboy. Turn around so these guys can see. Keep going. Keep going this way. There you go. Now, here would be my challenge. You've got it. Your muscle memory is there. Now can we put it a little bit more live action? So, here. Get in there. Rotate. Attaboy. Good. Perfect. Now, show you guys first. The idea of this, now don't you move. Player doesn't move, ball does. Different location. Okay, it shouldn't look the same. Why? Now it's further away. You still want to get that knob pointing to the inside of the ball. Attaboy. Good, good, good. Rotate, do it again. Good. These guys, so they can see, you stay where you're at, turn around, face these guys. Now it's a little bit further outside. So the idea here is it's a rotation drill, but now you're incorporating that muscle memory and that thought of how far and where do I want to rotate to. The relationship is the knob of the bat inside the ball. If I can borrow your bat for a second. And just for a demo here, if I've got an outside pitch, do I have the knob pointing at that inside of that ball? Okay. Can anybody tell me why I swung and missed? Good. This swing almost looks like that pitch should have been where? Inside. I'm over-rotating. I'm rotating as if I want to pull on the ball and I can't even hit it. Okay? A little bit of magic going to happen here right now. The next time I do this, and I want to see who can tell me why this happened. The next time I do this, I guarantee you that the middle of the bat, the sweet spot of the bat, is going to be in the middle of the ball. Just going to rewind here. How'd that happen? Okay, I like that. Anybody else? Come on, make the connection to the drill. Is this knob pointing at the inside of the ball? What's going to end up happening? I'm going to miss it. What am I doing differently? Go ahead. Knob's inside of the ball, which ensures me to do what? Hit it, right? Okay?
So we talked about this in the last session, and this is for the coaches. We do our players a disservice, okay? We've got to start to identify this a little bit, especially at the older ages. Because what happens is we see a kid who can't hit the outside pitch. What do we tell them to do? You're too far, get up on the plate so you can cover the plate, right? Now guess what they can't do? They can't hit the inside or the middle pitch because they're too close, okay? When we're watching kids struggle with that outside pitch, what we're really probably going to see if we really take a look is that knob is coming here rather than to the ball. So instead of taking the easy route and scooting them way up here where these kids can now, at this age, start to pound somebody inside, but now we're taking every opportunity away from them just to cover this out here. Let's make sure that it's not where the knob is going before we just jam them up on the plate.
You know, and to reinforce that, both coaches and players alike, I really would like to see a raise of hands. Stay on the ball. Raise your hand if you've ever heard that coaching piece in baseball. Stay on the ball. I think the misconception there is, meaning your eyes stay on the ball. Well, really, if you're hearing what Coach and I are saying, this is staying on the ball. What's staying on the ball? Yes, my eyes, but more importantly, my what? The knob, my hands. And if I keep my hands on the ball and my nose on the ball and my chest on the ball, now I'm going to be able to hit the ball. Right now, I'm not staying on the ball. Well, what literally is not staying on the ball? The knob or my hands. And when that happens, I have no ability to hit that. And being the catcher that I was for as many years as I had, when I saw a guy pull out like that, where do you think we were pitching him all day long? Outside. He ain't hitting that. He ain't ever hitting that pitch. Okay? All right, let's get you guys to work here. Now, let's unaccordion so you guys get in line here. There is no hitting right now. All you're going to do in coach is if you can man a team, so if we can have a coach on every team, just have these guys do a rep real quick, rotate them to the back, and keep on going. All they're going to do right now is rotate. Coaches on the tees, go through the first round with it being dead red down the middle, and then relocate. Put it maybe outer edge, then put it inside. Maybe raise the tee up and have it be a little bit higher pitch. The idea here is keep the hands inside the baseball, hands inside the baseball. It's just a rotation drill. Go ahead. Do a rep, get to the end of the line. Watch that slot position. Make sure you stay back of center. Watch that slot position. Make sure you stay back of center. Do not worry about that barrel coming through. You would think your hands, but no. What body part do you want to rely on to get that triangle from catcher to pitcher? Which body part? What is it? Yes, your rotation on your back half. So just trust that rotation. As you rotate, that here's triangle is going to be right where you want it. And now my flailers and my guys who are losing their bat and all that, you don't need to worry about all that. Just keep that triangle intact and rotate with the back half. The only slight little thing you might have to do with your hands is adjust where that knob is. Get that knob just inside the baseball. Coach, you got something else?
Some of you guys that are having trouble keeping your slop, it isn't your hands. It's the fact that your body isn't staying on that pole like he's talking about, right? So think about it. If we have our hands here in the right position, and what a lot of you are doing is you're doing this. Well, do you see how easy it is to lose that slot? Okay? But if we stay here and we take the knob with our leg to the ball, do you see how now our angle stays up? Okay? You can't lay down here and hit the ball. Everything drops and does this. We've got to stay here and let our leg take that knob.
One last question before you guys go back to work. We talked about basically breaking the swing down into two major things, to it and through it. Just out loud, what are we working on right now? The to it or the through it? We are working on the to it right now. Good. We will get into the through it in a second. So just be patient with your bodies and your brains and just work on that rotation and get to it. In a second, we'll get through it. All right? Go back to work. On the inside of the cage, keep them basically where they're at, but just on the inside. All of you for right now, just get inside the cage. If possible, well, make sure you have at least 2 or 3 baseballs as you're going in with that tee. Everybody in the cage, stay in your same groups.
Not those guys, those are the shooting balls.
Get that tee maybe about a couple feet away from. All right, here's what I want. I want 2 guys to stay in the cage. The other guys get behind the net back there. Coaches that were managing the groups, if you guys can come on over here and kind of line up on this yellow line here. You guys are going to be our pitchers here. And yeah, if you guys can get a bat and a ball in your hand. All right, gentlemen. Next drill. What we call our timing drill. So for those of you that were aching to swing, here's your chance. Eyes and ears over here, please. When it comes to something being messed up with your swing, dropped my shoulder, did this, did that. In the years that I've been coaching, what I've come to find out is, no matter how hard you work to fix that flaw, what the flaw really is you are not starting your swing or your load at the proper time, okay? In baseball, we've got it broken down to basically 3 types of pitchers. A guy that pitches at bat speed. That means that's just a normal kid. He's not too fast, he's not too slow, he's just normal. That's at bat speed. Above bat speed, holy man, that guy can bring it. Below bat speed, I'm going to crush that guy. I'd be careful with that mindset. Those guys that are below bat speed can be very, very effective because of what I just said there. You're in there, oh, I'm going to crush him. We need to make sure our timing is correct, so this is what this drill is going to do. We'll start with that bat speed. Pitcher comes to set, comes to balance, breaks his hands. As he's breaking his hands, he's getting to this point now where he's releasing the ball. This is when you should be starting your swing. Okay? As he's just ready to release the ball, you should be starting your load or starting your swing, which will ensure your front foot gets down in time, and then you can get your hands through, you can get to the ball, through the ball, nothing will fall apart. You won't lose your slot, you won't drop your back shoulder, you won't be all crunched up, you'll be able to get to your power V. Okay? Below bat speed, comes to set, breaks the hands, releases the ball, you let that ball get out of his hand for about a foot or 2, and now you start your swing. Let's see who's paying attention to me right now. Why does it make sense that you want to let the pitcher release the ball if he pitches slower versus starting your swing when he's just releasing it if he's just a normal guy? Why does that make sense?
Well, because then if you don't do that, then your load speed should be, like your load timing could be off, and then you'll be like...
That a boy, okay? You were hinting at it. Where's all your weight going to be if you start your swing too soon with a guy who pitches slow? Where's all your weight going to be? It's going to be on your front foot. So this allows you to not have to lunge at the pitch because you're waiting a little bit longer for that ball, and now you'll get that front foot in time. Okay? Now again, looking to see who's paying attention and using their brains right now. When do you suppose we want to start our load for a guy who's super fast? So the guy who's normal, we want to do it when he releases it. When the guy is slow, we want to do it after it gets out of his hand. When do we want to do it for the super fast guy? Go ahead. That a boy. Right when they break their hands. So we talk about right about in this window, as soon as they break their hands, now you want to get that load going. Okay? Do we have a ball? I'm going to just kind of use this as a good visual, so if you can get in there for a sec, please. Get in there as if you're in a stance. Coach, actually, if you want to simulate the pitch. Guys, getting back to what I was saying before. Pitcher goes through. ball is released, stay still, okay? Stay in your stance. Still stay in your stance. Still stay in your stance. Still stay in your stance. Okay, now start your load. You're done. And I have guys even in my high school that do this. Coach, what's wrong? What's wrong? You're waiting for the ball to get 2/3 of the way to you before you start your swing. Again, trying to check how smart you guys are. Can somebody tell me what's going to happen when you wait this long to start your swing? Go ahead. You're going to be way behind it. Good. You're going to miss it, probably because you're all crunched up. Lots and lots of bad things are going to happen. So we got to make sure we start our swing on time, hence the reason it's the timing drill. We go from there. All right, coaches, go ahead and simulate it. Boys, right now, he's at bat speed, which means that he's normal. When should you be starting your swing? Say it out loud if you got it. When should you start your swing?
Release the ball.
When he releases the ball. Here we go.
Yeah. What if like it's a super fast pitcher and you start when he breaks the ball and he throws a changeup?
Well, we'll get into that. We have a drill for that, and that's a great question. And my answer to that right now is you just got to stay strong. So you load like you normally would load as if it's a fast pitcher, and then you recognize the off-speed pitch. You just got to stay strong in your stance. Okay? You might rotate, but you got to keep your hands back so when the pitch is where you need it to be, you still have the ability to put it into play cleanly. Okay? Great question. That's my answer. Stay strong. Okay? When you are in a situation like that, it's very, very difficult. What will happen is you'll get that weight over your front knee. You can't have that. So you recognize, off speed, stay strong, now go. Rotate and hit that ball. Okay? So it might be like a second pause, but you just have to stay strong for that split second, and then you'll be able to hit that ball. Does that make sense? Okay, here we go. As soon as they release it. One hit, get out of there so the next guy can go. One hit, next guy goes in there. No more than 2 guys in the cage at a time. So the next guy can get in there. 2 guys in the cage at one time. If you're hitting that teeter up in the air, adjust your slot. Self-coach.
All right, ready, Bob? Gotta wait for the pitch here. Good. Right in there. Good. He wasn't ready. Are you ready here?
Oh, you are.
Yeah. You gotta wait. Okay. Ready?
Hold up for a second. Guys, this is supposed to simulate hitting a live pitch. Got it? So what I'm going to say, when he breaks and he gets right here, you should be loading, number 1. Okay? We're trying to work on timing. So as soon as that guy gets here, you should be starting your load and then going through and hitting this ball off the tee. Another thing we notice every session, when you guys hit the ball off the tee, many of you are hitting the tee, aren't you? Well, that's because your eyes are standing right here and everything's passing down underneath. Okay? You should load when you hit that position. As you're hitting that ball, your chin should be locked in shoulder to shoulder and looking right down that tee, even after when you strike the ball in the star. Also talk about feeling the hit and not seeing it. Okay? You can feel if you hit the ball or not. And there's 2 base coaches to tell you where it went and where you should run. There's no need to pull those eyes off of that impact area. Okay? We want to be here, down, boom, hitting that ball and finishing, and then running the first. Okay? Every one of you have seen so far has been here. Tees are falling down. Balls are getting topped. Okay? You got to keep your eye right on that impact spot.
Like Coach said before to the others, look inside the hole of that tee. After you hit the ball, take a second. So finish your swing, find inside that hole. That'll ensure your head stays down if you're doing that. Here we go, back to work. Meaning he's throwing it really, really well. Above bat speed, above normal. Somebody remind me, when should you be starting your load now if he's above bat speed? Go ahead. That's probably even a little bit too late. Pitchers come to set and then they break their hands. Right when you notice that they break their hands. And Coach, did we talk about the window?
We did with this group.
Okay. The other thing too, guys, good pitchers will hide the ball. And the more difficult the pitcher is, the better he is at hiding that ball. Well, given what I've been telling you right now, why does a pitcher want to hide the ball? He knows what you want to do. He wants to pick up on your release, right? So why do you think that makes sense that good pitchers will learn how to hide the ball? Good, but what they can't hide is this window. For a right-handed pitcher, what is this window? What's going to come out of this window no matter how well he hides the ball? What's coming out of here? The ball. Okay? So this is kind of the area you want to have yourself fixated on. So above bat speed, he's going to come here no matter what he does. As he breaks those hands, you're right in this window. Right as he breaks those hands, you're ready to go. All right? Here we go. Above bat speed. As soon as he breaks those hands, get your load going. Adjust your slot if you're hitting that tee. Keep your head down if you're hitting that tee.
Everybody's eyes are popping up. They should stay on the tee. Stay on the tee with the eyes. All eyes are up. There. That's
One last one. And coaches, the way that we do this is minimum we go and it's notated in your notes. 3, 3, and 3. 3 at, 3 below, 3 above. So in a daily basis, you know, we just knock that out, but you can do this however you want. All right, so now this guy is below bat speed, okay? Now I was telling the other group, I know when we have a guy that throws under bat speed, and I got a bunch of guys in my dugout, oh, we're going to crush this guy, oh, we're going to kill this guy. And then the first couple innings, fly ball to left, fly ball to the shortstop, weak ground ball to the third baseman, fly ball to the left. It's going to be a long day. Anybody know why we keep on hitting the ball to the left side? You shouldn't be hitting the ball to the left side with a slow pitcher. Why are we hitting the ball to the left side? Yeah, because we're not being patient. We're not letting that ball get out of his hands because in our brains we're too locked into the fact that we're going to crush this guy. Okay? The ball should go up the middle or to right field for a slower pitcher. Right field's a good thing. Why? What is that feedback to you? What is that telling you? If you hit the ball to right, you did a great job doing what? Being patient. You let that ball get out of his hand, and you hit it to right. That's fine. Waiting longer is better than going too soon, because if you go too soon, you're not going to get a good bat on the ball, and you're going to end up getting these weak fly balls to the left side. Okay? So, let the coach get the ball out of his hand, on his finish, wait a second or two, and then get in your swing. Below bat speed. Here we go.
Jack. On first thought, okay?
All right.
Far enough away from him? Good. Hold on here. I want him out of the cage. Okay.
Good enough. They're 12, so they get the advantage of 2 more hitters. All right, so we're going to play a game here, and rather than
not
giving
bad.
you all of the ins and the outs of the game, I'm going to just cut to the chase. The premise of the game is, and it's focusing on all the things that we've been talking about. Hitting clean line drives, getting a good slot position, keeping your head down, doing the things that you need to do to be successful to cleanly hit that ball to play. We go by innings. So you guys are going to bat first. You guys are going to bat second. You guys will all bat. You get 1 cut. You get 1 swing only. You're all going to hit. When they're done, you guys are all going to hit. I will share out with you the points as we go along, but here's the bottom line. If you hit that ball cleanly off that tee, it cleanly goes through that square, and it hits that back wall, you get 3 points for that. Okay? If it hits the roof, you're going to get negative points. Okay? I did this with my varsity in this offseason. We had a league. I actually had a team that was down negative 15 in their first at bat. How in the world do you get negative 15? What weren't they doing? Their bat was below their hands, and they kept on hitting the roof, and in this game, if you hit the ball from the roof, you will get penalized. Okay? So, you guys just sit back over here, relax over here. You guys give me my first hitter in there, 1 guy at a time. Grab the ball, get out of the tee. Nothing. Here we go. Next guy. 0-0 yet. Negative -2, hitting the tee. -2-0. There we go, there's a point. -1. What's your total so far? Guys, when you hit, take a seat so we as coaches know how many more guys gotta go. Sit down when you hit. Not too bad, but no points. Gotta hit the screen cleanly. Coaches, by the way, on that sheet, you'll see that I've got the way that you scored this game right on that sheet. -1-0 here. Nothing. There we go, there's a point. Back to 0. There we go. 1. They're winning. 1-0. There we go. 2-0. Good job. Boy. 3-0. Good touch. Nothing. Close to -2. Just barely got past the screen. Coaches, just so you know, I'm kind of gauging this on whether I felt like it was an out or not. The negative points are going to be definite outs. If it's questionable, I give them 0. There we go. 3. 5. 6. 7. Nothing. Gotta pass the screens. Nothing.
It's the tops and get past the streets.
Nothing.
Why are you guys all so crowded the tee? We talked about that, right?
Adjust that tee however you want. If the ball's too low, too high, you can adjust it however you want. Get it in your perfect position. There we go. 10. Good cut. Hit the ground first though. Still nothing. 1 point.
Guys, if you need to move that tee up in there to get off that net, that's fine. If you feel tight in there.
1 point. 11-2. There you go. 3-pointer. 11-5. Nothing.
Blow it out. I don't figure.
Nothing. Get to the power V, boys. Get to the power V. Just think about getting to the power V. That was better. 11-5. There you go. 11-8. Guys, sit down if you've already hit so we know who's hit and who has to go yet. Nothing. Hold on before you go. Gentlemen, whether you're the individual player or a teammate watching, I've seen about 4 or 5 balls now that have come off the tee and almost immediately hit the ground, okay? Why that's happening is when we're rotating and hitting, we're rolling our wrists right away, okay? We want to be to the ball and through the ball. We want to get to our power V. Right now, can I get to my power V? I don't reinforce rolling of the wrists. I don't like to say it. I don't like to talk about it. But since we're on the subject, can anybody tell me when it should happen? Should it happen here?
No.
When should it happen? Go ahead. Good. It happens when you have no other choice. At this point in time, I have no other choice. If I'm going to continue to come through here, naturally, my wrists are going to roll over. Okay? So the mindset for some of you guys is, okay, my job is done. Now I've hit the ball, I'm all done. Roll the wrist over. No, you're not done. You're not even close to done. You're at the halfway point. Once you hit the ball, you still got to get to that power V and finish your swing. So for you guys, I guess my overall point here is I don't want to see that happen again. And that's okay, those of you that did it, the next time you go, I don't want to the best of your ability, see it again. But fix it, okay? Fix it and watch what guys are doing and make sure you don't do it, okay? Here we go. Get to that power V. There we go. Good job. There's a point. 11-6.
Yeah! Nice!
Take your time, boys.
Okay.
Take your time.
Going -1 on that one. Technically on the sheet, when you do that, it should be a minus point. So 11-5. There we go. 11-6. You guys lost a point for rolling the wrist again. Nothing. Up in the roof. All right. Now we got way too many guys to do both. So the way this would go is we go back and forth, back and forth. One thought that I have, coaches, I would highly encourage you, like the rolling of the wrist. Now, what I am very impressed with and what was really good is there wasn't a whole lot of balls up in the roof. So that's super awesome. But what I would encourage you guys to do if you're going to use this game is be far more hard on them, and I'm sure you will, than I was. Okay, so look over that point sheet, and especially when you're seeing some things that you want to fix, because that's the way I kind of use it, I really pound home the negative points. That is the opposite of what we want, so I'm not going to give you points. Okay? Today I just didn't feel like being that big of a jerk, so I'm being a little bit more easy on it. But again, my point is I would be a lot harder on this. Now, so you go back and forth. You guys probably go again. You guys would get your at bat to the second inning, third inning, so on and so forth. But we're going to cut it off at one inning because you guys got the gist. But to end the game, we always do the bonus round. So we're going to do 5 for each team. So you guys will figure out the 5 each you want to hit. Now, this is how the bonus round goes. The points are the exact same. So 3 points if you hit the ball through the cage and hit the back wall. However, if you're the number 1 hitter, you get a bonus point of 1. Now we're going to have 5 hitters. So if you are the 5th hitter and you hit the ball through the cage and hits the back wall, you get your 3 points, but because you're the 5th hitter, plus 5, so you could get 8 points for that. And this becomes really cool. Like right now, you guys are down 11-6. Let's just say you guys are up right now, and let's say you guys just, bonus round is awesome. And now you guys are up 25-6. 25-6, boys, if you're doing the math, you're going, there's no way we have a chance if the best we can do is a 3-pointer. But if you guys have all those bonus points you can get, you can really get a lot of points real quick. So here's what needs to happen right now. You guys need to talk on your teams. Who are going to be your 5 hitters, and then from there, who's going to be hitter 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go. Coaches, what I like to see out of this are who are the kids that say, no, I'm going to be the 5 hitter. Give me the bat. I want the bat for those most amount of points or whatever. And or the guys that are stepping back. I don't want to hit. I don't want to hit. Yeah. There you go.
You guys got to find it.
Oh! That is called our tennis rule. So counts, hit off the square, but it hit the back wall, so that's 3 plus 1 is 4. That gives you guys what, 15?
All 5 will go in. 5 will go.
Guys, if you're not in the bonus round, please back up. Only my 5 guys are in the bonus round up here. That's all right. Nothing on that. All right, here we go. 15-5. Three hitter.
Yeah.
Nice. 4 points on that one. 19. That's a good cut. 19-5. 19-5. Oh, 3 plus 4 is 7. That gives you 26. 26-5, boys.
Oh.
34-5. You guys have got some work to do. Four. What's the hip?
We're doing 34-9.
34-9.
Nice, Aiden.
So it's 2 plus.
We got tee up.
No, 1 plus 4. Calling that a fly out. No points.
Come on, Aiden.
I'll give you a point for that. So that gives you guys what? 5 plus 1 is 6. So what's that grand total?
11.
34, 18. Well, 12-year-olds, I got some bad news for you. You guys, hey, you pick your guy that you're most confident with and get him in the cage right now. I'll give you guys one chance to win this game. I know.
D-Licky 13. Frankie McDonald.
Who's your guy? Get him in there.
Dylan Licky.
You will get 100 points if you cleanly hit this ball off of this tee. Go. 100 points. Hey, just so we're clear, I'm not talking about hitting the bucket. I'm not talking about hitting the tee. I'm talking about cleanly hitting the ball. Go. 100 points. Ah! Yes, good job, boys. Question was asked before, well, coach, if that guy is like super fast and I'm starting my swing as he breaks his hands, what if he throws me some kind of off-speed pitch? Now what? Well, what we're going to do in this drill, there's going to be 2 things. And coaches, the bounce drill, my suggestion would be that should be something that all the players should be doing. The other drill that I'm going to show you, which is a front toss drill, where they're hitting the ball off the outer part of the plate, I would, and guys, this is not meant to make you feel like you're not a good baseball player. You know, I'm a teacher, and when I tell my kids that I teach math. It's not a matter of you're bad at math, you're just not ready for something. So if we're doing something with fractions and they don't get it, it's not that you're dumb, it's not that you're stupid, you're just not ready for that. You got to do some things to get ready for that. When you're ready for that, I'll give you whatever I need. This is no different. When you're ready for it, the coaches will give it to you, all right? But to address that question, who is that? You asked that. What's your name? Eric. Great question, Eric. So we talked about the timing and everything else like that, the rotation, everything else like that. So now I'm rotated, okay? Now, when I am seeing the pitch come, and as I'm rotating, and I realize that that pitch is off speed or what have you, what I want to make sure that I do is I want to make sure that I don't ever get my weight in front of my front knee, okay? Cannot have this. Cannot have my weight going forward. So we're just going to try to stay as strong as we possibly can. And one of the things that I also encourage my kids to do, more for a pitcher that just pounds the outer edge, pounds the outer edge, pounds the outer edge. We talked about this before. What's going to happen right now? Am I going to hit this ball? No. What's screwed up about this? The knob. The knob should be here, not here, okay? And my guys that do this, I'll tell them to quiet their hips. Now bring it all together. What drives this knob? not my hands, not my upper half. What drives this knob? Good, that a boy. You're right, the hip does, okay? So by quieting the hips, what that then does is I literally tell my guys, widen out your feet and just stay on the ball. And what I want you to do is I want you to just keep your nose and your shoulder on the ball and just drive that thing to the opposite field, especially on an outside pitch, okay? So in this drill, if you're recognizing an outside pitch, and now all of a sudden I fake it or I bounce it, and I'm here, quiet the hips and just stay on it and drive it the other way. I didn't over-rotate. Quieting the hips ensures that you don't over-rotate. Somebody back at me. If I tell you to quiet your hips, what am I trying to make sure you don't do? Over-rotate, okay? So the hips are the problem. The hips are coming through, which is not allowing you to stay on the outside pitch, or the hips are coming through, which is not allowing you to stay back. So we'll just quiet those hips, and we'll isolate our swing to the upper half, okay? And one thing that I forgot to mention when we were in the front over there. If you do, and where are my 8th graders? Raise your hand. We got 8th graders here?
No, 6 and 7.
6 and 7. Where are my 7th graders? Okay, because you guys are as close as anybody. If you do what is expected of you, which is get into our strength and conditioning program, even if you don't have your lower half, you should be strong enough to do what you need to do with the baseball if you follow our strength and conditioning program. It's asked of me all the time, Coach, what can I be doing to get ready for the baseball season? Go to SAS. Well, what about hitting? Go to SAS. Strengthen your core, which is the middle part of your body. Overall, become bigger, stronger, faster. And with that, you'll be amazed. I've had kids that have done this, where they have limited time that they spend actually swinging a bat or throwing a ball in the off season, but they've worked their tail off in the off season with our strength and conditioning program. And at times, they prove to move ahead of guys that did no strength and conditioning and just swung and threw all winter long. And if you think about it, as long as both of them have the ability to hit a baseball, why is the stronger guy going to do a better job hitting the baseball than the guy who's weaker? They're both going to come through and they both have great looking swings. Well, what's the difference between the ball actually coming off the bat for a kid who's weak versus the ball coming off a bat who's strong, a kid who's strong?
Stronger kid has stronger hips.
You got stronger hips, stronger everything. And, you know, a thing that they use in baseball, especially guys that are kind of going through and going to play college baseball, what do they talk about exit speed? Raise your hand if you've heard exit speeds. Do you know what exit speed is? Good, it's the velocity of the ball coming off the bat. If you don't have a very strong body, guess what? The velocity of the ball coming off the bat will be very good or not very good if you're not very strong. Not very good. The stronger you are, the better that velocity speed is going to be. So hopefully you're understanding my point. What's more important than having a bat in your hand all off season when you get to high school? What's more important, having the bat in your hand or getting yourself as big and strong and fast and agile as you can? What's your answer? Big, strong, fast, and agile. That's what you want to be. Now, meanwhile, can you have a bat in your hand? Yes. Okay? But don't have the bat being in your hand more important than getting bigger, stronger, faster, and more agile. Okay? Now, quiet those hips if need be, but the idea here is stay strong. Don't let that weight get on your front knee. So I'm going to give you 2 drills that we're going to do right now. One's going to be the bounce drill. And all the bounce drill is I'm going to toss the ball, toss the ball, toss the ball, and every once in a while, I'm going to bounce the ball. And the bounce ball is supposed to simulate like an off-speed pitch. You got to stay strong, and if you're having trouble, what's the one thing that you want to kind of quiet down if you feel like you're starting to lunge a little bit? Quiet what? Yeah, quiet your hips or quiet your rotation, okay? Here we go. Good. Adjust that slot a little bit. Stay back, stay back. Good. All right, stay back. Punch me in the nose with your right hand. Punch me in the nose with your right hand. Attaboy, that's better. A little bit forward. Quiet down a little bit. Not bad. That was better than the first one. Good job. Good eye. Attaboy. Good. That's all right. Now, pitcher's outside, right? You know where you're trying to get it? Okay, stay on the ball, stay on the ball, stay on the ball. Don't try to pull it, go to rotate. Okay, here we go. Good. All right. So that's level 1 that I would say as far as if you're looking for guys who are lunging at the ball, that would be a level 1 drill. Anybody sitting in front of me right now, all these guys should have the ability to do that drill. Stay in here now. This next drill is a little bit more difficult to perform, and I deem it as a little bit more higher level, okay? So now what's going to happen is I'm going to toss, and if I fake toss it, what you need to do is immediately get your eyes and brain on that outside pitch. I'll give you 3 options. When you see a fake ball and you're hitting that ball, should it go to this net, or to that net? This is a trick question because there could be more than one right answer. What do you think should happen to that ball if I fake it? And you're expected to hit that ball off that tee. Where should that ball go? Right. Yes, right in the middle. Definitely not over here. Okay? Somebody else, because I know Aiden locked in here. If the ball goes over here, what did you do? You over-rotated that boy. Okay, you got those hips through. You're pulling on that ball. There's no way, if that ball goes over here, there's no way that that knob of that bat was inside that baseball. Okay? Someone tell Aiden where he should put the knob of the bat if he hit the ball over here. If the ball is on that tee and the ball is being hit over here, where's the knob of the bat? Go ahead in the back there. Okay, inside plate, part of the plate? Good. You're absolutely right. Go ahead and show everybody what meant by that. Don't hit the ball. Good. Keep coming. Good. Keep the back going. Yes, right there. That's where the knob is. That's not pointing at the ball. Keep the knob pointed at the ball and stay on the ball. You know, we talked about this in the last session. You know, maybe we did. I don't know. They're all getting mushed. Raise your hand if you've ever heard that. Stay on the ball. Stay on the ball. Stay on the ball. Okay? I think the false interpretation of staying on the ball is literally keep your eyes on the ball. Keep the knob on the ball. Okay? Keep the knob on the ball. Keep your hands on the ball. All right, here we go. So you understand what's going on here? I'm going to front toss. If I fake it, you hit that ball off the tee. All right? Back up just a little bit. Give me a little bit of room to stay inside. Right. All right. Keep that top hand on top. Okay? Keep that slot. That slot. Good. Ah, boy, good job. Ball, catch it with your hand. Catch the ball with your hands. Get your hand ready. Yep. Another one. You gotta have the ball in the team. Here you go. Ah, boy. Sorry, tough pitch. All right. Yeah, that's the idea. All right. All right.
Guys, if he was able to go in there and do this drill like he had it mastered, something's wrong there, right? We're gonna struggle on this drill a little bit when we're first doing it, okay? But the more you do it and the better you get at it, it's gonna translate into the game, right? Make sense?
And coaches, just to reinforce, the whole idea behind either one of these is just as we're getting in that swing, we just want to make sure that we're incorporating stuff where we're not getting that weight over our front knee. So we want to just stay nice and strong. So when they see that bounce ball, as long as they stay strong, they should be able to rotate and hit that ball. And the bottom line is, if it's an off-speed pitch or something that is unusual versus what the guy normally throws, you shouldn't really expect yourself to hit the ball as well as if it were a fastball, you know? So that's kind of the idea. So, guys, I thank you so much. I appreciate your time and your effort. I thought you guys did a great job in executing the drills and doing the things that I asked. So, looking forward to you guys continuing to do what you're doing, and looking forward to seeing you guys 7th graders, a couple of years, 6th graders, 3 years.
What do you guys say to coach? Okay? We're going to make sure that the coaches have the resources from today to start to incorporate some of this stuff into practice for you. Okay? If anybody's leaving today thinking, well, I got nothing to work on, we sure missed the mark, right? Because we've got a lot of opportunity to get our swings in a better place than they are today. Anybody here want to have less hits than last year? I didn't think so. Okay? So we're going to put in some good work. We're going to incorporate some coaches' drills. We're going to move the needle forward and hit the ball a little better.
See how I did. Get a little feedback. Raise your hand if you've got something that either you learned today or you were reminded of today. Something you learned or reminded of. Go ahead. Okay, good. Good. Now be careful with that. That's very good. And you're right. But just very important that you where should exactly the knob be? At the ball or good? Just slightly inside. Okay. We don't want to have that knob right at the ball, just inside of it. Good. We want line drives, good. Inside the wall, good. Base hits are better than home runs. Home runs are mistakes. They'll happen, but they're mistakes. Yeah, quiet hips win, good. Yeah, so, and if you or your coach see you over-rotating, this guy's pitching, well, I don't want to answer that. One of you guys tell me, when will you over-rotate? What are some situations where you'll over-rotate? One situation would be what? Okay, good. So when it's a slower pitcher? Yes, good. When would be another one? Good, but listen to my question again. Good. And you're absolutely right, but listen to the question. When will you over-rotate your hips? One of the situations will be on a slower pitcher. When will be the other situation? What's the pitcher doing? Pound in what? Pound in what? Pound in what? Pound in what? Every pitch seems to be where? Where? Good. What is it? Yeah, when it's outside. That's when you want to quiet your hips because you're over-rotating. All right, let's take two more. Go ahead. Good. So tell me when the guy is normal, just normal pitcher. When should you start your load? As he's releasing the ball. Good. All right. Hey guys, again, thank you very much. Coaches, I'll be around if you got any questions or if you need any clarification on anything, but I thank you very much.